They say that the world of before was one of true desolation, where nothing grew and few things lived. A world of ice, where every dying breath taken brought you closer to the cold. A world molded by deities long forgotten, in rage of crimes we don't even remember committing. But 20,000 years ago, we were given a second chance. The cruelty of the old world was lifted away in a great inferno, bringing to us a new era, an era of civilizations, culture, and technology, an era where we could carve our existence into the very face of our world, an era without the terror of before, an era of prosperity. Our glistening cities came to sprawl over most of the planet, and our species flourished, coming to rule over all that lived. We turned this desolate world into a home, one that would be kind to our children, and for a long time, it was. But all times come to an end, and with the ice at the poles becoming thicker, and the temperature dropping further, it is now without doubt that our era of prosperity is waning. And with the coming of natural apocalypse, as ice encroaches, something else boils under the surface. For all of Nevaean history there have been wars, nations merging with others, and great journeys of conquest. And over time, what was once thousands of countries have now coalesced into two great states. The southern continent of Orsis and the northern continent of Novus. For most of their mutual existence, the two great states were on the verge of total war, the only thing stopping them being the fear of retaliation. For that reason, it was in each state's best interest to produce a weapon so powerful that the enemy would not exist to retaliate. Resulting from this great arms race, many technological wonders were produced, the most powerful explosives ever conceived, engines that could cross the intercontinental ocean in a matter of hours, radars able to track any target in visual range. But in their 8-year arms race, no nation was victorious. Neither could exclusively create the war-ending weapon. And so, both great states had world-ending technology at their disposal. They talked about it. They talked about a war fought not with soldiers, but with civilians. Not with ground gain, but with bloodshed. A war without winners, only remainders. And in any other time, this concept of war would be enough deterrent for any state. But in desperate times, as resources become scarcer and political unrest stirs, desperate measures are called for. And the two great states, fearing the ceasing of their continued existence on an ending world, opted not to freeze, but to burn. That night, there were no stars. The sky was blotted out in inferno, as it was 20,000 years ago. Bombs raining in their millions over airbases, harbors, farmlands, roads, and homes. Nothing was safe from the wrath of the two giants, whose fight brought fiery end to our era of prosperity. It has been 1 year since the war began, 1 year since the starless night, and 1 year since the era of prosperity came to its own fiery end. Since then, every night, bombers make their great voyage over the intercontinental ocean, coming and going to cause more destruction. Some never make it back. Now, almost every coastal and high-population city has been reduced to rubble. Hundreds of millions have died, and anyone that didn't is now displaced. And as our technology progresses, less and less of the continent is out of range, and more cities become targets. For the dwindling population of Orsis, to survive, we must move down, as far down as the living body can allow, into the freezing polar wastes. Many of us now live in bunkers, like this one. It houses 68 and maintains a warm temperature all year long. It has a good view of the local city. It was apparently once a small fishing town that relied on the second hiatus thawing of the lake for sustenance. Now, of course, it's almost always frozen. But the city's population has tripled in size since the beginning of the war. It's one of the few places out of range of the Novan missiles. It may be cold and lifeless, but it is safe. Safer than anywhere else.
NSYS 28, this is Tabellio 112. Do you receive?
Affirmative, Tabellio 112. We do receive.
NSYS 28, you are next in line for payload distribution.
Understood, 112. We are on standby.
When the world feels like it's ending, it's been a long pastime of Nevaeans to stargaze. We wondered if the stars held something better for us, something more, if they could help us. And to an extent, for those back then, they did. They were a small thing to obsess over, to keep you going from day to day, even when the world we inhabited was one that we seemed no longer to be suited for. I guess it was still like that.
You may break from your place in formation to enter firing position.
Understood. Maneuver underway.
When you look to the south, you will always see the southern star of Meridionala. Her everlasting light has guided all who journey on the southern hemisphere. And there above, that's our moon, Russus. Her red surface reflects the light of Preclara onto Nevaeus' night side. Beside her is the planet Ingens, that distant speck, slowly moving in the night sky. For the longest time we thought it to be another star, but now, with the technologies of the war, we know it doesn't even have a solid surface. And it isn't the only one. Kerula, they call it. You can't see it with your eyes. The atmosphere blurs it into oblivion unless you're on a tall mountain with a telescope.
Maintain a cruising altitude of 1 strike 3 procul above sea level.
Understood. Maneuver underway.
And that's Annularis, the ring planet. Every few years, when an eclipse happens, she can become a small ring in the sky, like a tiny eye looking down at us. It's believed to be the home of the dead. Being closer to the star than our planet, I have some hope it'll be warmer there.
112, we are in position. Permission to open doors.
Permission granted.
Engineer, what's your payload status?
All systems are nominal. We are good for launch.
112, this is NSYS 28. Our payload is good to launch.
2-8, you have permission to launch.
Payload is disconnected.
First stage occurred successfully.
Value 112, we are getting a strange height reading for our payload. Measurements say it has climbed to 20,000 procol. Could you check if this reading is accurate?
Copy, Ansys. We're getting the same reading. It's probably just a local instrument malfunction. Return to base 2-8. You have fulfilled your mission.
4 targets splashed. We are getting some radar blips up the coast of Sector 4-8. All offshore friendlies confirm location. We're about to engage.
Missiles have been spotted off the northern peninsula. Make a request for the 12th Fleet.
12th Fleet, move over to Sector 3-8.
Citadel, this is Station 4-8. We're getting a strange reading from the southernmost Nova missile. Our instruments suggest that it's past 11 ampere-procol above sea level. Suspect instrument error. Can you confirm?
Yes, we are getting that value too.
But that's...
They have left the atmosphere.
Wow, there must be some kind of shooting star.
Fires have spread to all coastal sectors. Responses are hard at work, but the severity of fires mean that the spread will likely continue throughout the night. All of Gelida are advised to evacuate.
Turn that off.
Bring only essentials
Yes,
for
sir.
survival.
Is it really so important they needed to drag us out here?
Yes, sir. They say this meeting could change the war effort.
Well, what is it?
Only they know.
Over the past 3 Aidas, some major discoveries have been made regarding both Novan technology and strategy. Of course, most of you are aware of the 4-8 incident. What some of you may not know is that the incident has been replicated by Novus at least 3 times with intent.
So, the Novans are fully aware of their missiles' capabilities?
Yes.
Do we know for certain that these are all the tests they made?
We don't. It's possible they're doing experiments on the North Pole far beyond our sphere of intelligence, but it's unlikely, considering the Ensis Beta missile is theorized to require warmer temperatures to operate properly. We think they'll most likely be operated on the equator.
But their missile is the only thing capable of exiting the atmosphere, correct?
Yes. What this means is that Novus may be capable of establishing superiority over a new domain of war. Space. Untouchable by any current weapon at our disposal. It's for this reason we've initiated a program for exo-atmospheric technology research. They've been working for half an Aida to design a missile with similar or superior capabilities to that of the Ensis Beta missile.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
In theoretical technologies, they've made much progress, but of the 3 test launches they've made, all have failed.
And why is that?
Varying things. The first and second missile launches had stability issues. They were both unable to reach above the mesosphere. The third was much the same before it experienced a catastrophic fuel ignition, causing its destruction.
If Novus can do it with the same engine technology, then why are our rockets failing?
None of our aircraft can rival the operating altitude of an Ensis Alpha bomber, so we'll have to make a rocket that can pierce the thick lower atmosphere. They want a double budget to do this, but considering our funds are needed elsewhere, we can't give it to them.
What are the risks of them having space dominance?
For now, we don't really know. It may be possible to set up a permanent installation in space, one that orbits the planet as a satellite. But considering the fact that Novus has only ever made small exo-atmospheric leaps, to our knowledge, it's unlikely they will be capable of achieving this for at least a year. Yes, Air Commander.
So, does space dominance really pose much threat to national security? Or is it all just theory?
For now, it's all theory.
Should we not keep on top of this, so we'll have the upper hand once it becomes a domain?
That's why we have the new program. They're hard at work as we speak.
But they don't have enough resources.
They're some of the best minds in Orsis. No doubt they'll make up for it. Anyways, onto more pressing subjects. A submarine off the Great Channel picked up signals from an Ensis bomber en route to a raid. They were being contacted by a Tibelio correspondent who gave them some orders and then played this strange recording. This message played 3 times, likely to remove error. We think it's some kind of code, and our intelligence division theorizes it may be 2 separate coordinates. Currently, we have a few models for the signal's actual value.
What would these coordinates be for?
It seems pretty evident that if these are coordinates, Tibelios are telling Ensis bombers the exact locations their missiles must target. We checked the aftermath of missile hits the morning after we intercepted that Ensis signal, and found 2 craters in Section 8-4.
So if we can intercept these signals, we can find out where strikes are going to happen before they do.
That's the theory. Now we just need to prove it.
And how do you plan to do that?
Scout Group Tower D12 are to move into standby positions on runway 4. Scout Group Tower D12 are to move into standby positions on runway 4. All 2nd Air Division pilots are to group up on track 2 for an operational debriefing. All 2nd Air Division pilots are to group up on track 2 for an operational debriefing.
few hours ago, we lost a submarine along the 5th longitudinal. They had visual of an NSYS fleet and were relaying their radio chatter to our intel net before their feed went dark, and with it, their sonar beacon. This is likely the result of hostile action, which means that your aircraft is the only asset in the 5th sector with equipment capable of intercepting the new Nova and radio frequencies. We need you to get as close to them as possible, record their transmissions, and relay them to Oceanic Station 05. Understood?
Yes, sir.
A representative of the Intelligence Division will be coming with you. Under these unusual circumstances, he is the only one authorized to operate the Psi-12 radio equipment on this mission. He technically outranks you while you're in the air, so follow his directives and do not ask questions. Dismissed.
Pleasure to work with you.
Likewise.
Tau Actual to Tau 312, report the status of your radio receiver. Affirmative, Actual. Equipment performance reads nominal. Estimated position of the NSYS fleet is 143 ampleprocol north of your position. Continue on your vector, adjusting positive 18 pars north once you reach the coast. Close to within visual range of the target, and maneuver as necessary to keep the target within 9 pars of the visual horizon. Affirmative. Douse and go cold 312. You're about 48 ampleprocol from the target's predicted position. Copy, Actual. Going dark and cold.
Yeah, I see them. Banking now. I'm gonna try and run parallel to their flight path.
Are we getting a signal, operator?
Just keep quiet. Getting something faint.
And check that all fuel cells
There we go.
are above 64% capacity. If you are below that, report it immediately as submission.
Aircraft are at nominal fuel capacity, maintaining a position above the Argonosphere.
Solid copy. All craft on this frequency cease communications. Beginning transmission of...
Why is this damn thing getting interference? Pilot, can you not fly straight?
Sorry, sir. It's turbulence. I can't fly over the currents. I don't want to risk us getting spotted.
There's no point in us being out here if I can't hear anything. So stay as level as possible and keep them in visual range.
I'm trying, sir. It's just not safe to keep going.
Start gaining altitude. I'm authorizing you to go up to 732 procol above sea level. The mission hinges on getting this signal.
Alright. I'll do it.
NSYS 83, stand by. Your codes are the following. NSYS 84, stand by. Your codes are as follows.
Is 2 transmissions enough? We really can't be up here this long. They'll spot us for sure.
Maintain your position until ordered otherwise.
NSYS 85, stand by. Your codes are as follows.
Tabelio, this is NSYS A2. We just spotted an aircraft, negative 81 pars south. It's within...
Go down!
visual.
Go down now!
What is it? Sir?
We've been spotted!
We see it too. It's not on our frequencies. Must be enemy. Tabelio, do we have permission to engage?
Granted. Engage at will.
What was that? Did you see that? Was that a missile?
We've been spiked. Begin evasive maneuvers, prepping countermeasures.
Got it. Going evasive.
Strike the altitude restrictions. They've already seen us. No point in trying to hide anymore. Our priority is relaying the recordings.
I'm on it, sir.
Tracking missile. Stand by. Deploying countermeasures.
You went for the flares. Aircraft is undamaged.
Get us on the return line. We need distance or we may not be so lucky with the next one.
Understood, sir.
I've got a link with the station. Beginning the transmission.
We're not out of it yet, sir. Visual contact on another missile. Off the tail, left side.
Shed auxiliaries. If we lighten our load, we can outrun it.
If you say so, sir. Dropping tanks.
Don't worry, son. I've done this a time or two. What's the status of the transfer? We can't stay up here forever. We're out of flares. We need to get low and cold.
It isn't finished. We have to...
Stay this course. Whatever happens, we must complete our mission.
Yes, sir.
You let me know the instant that transfer completes, and then...
Contact! Incoming from overhead. I think it's another missile. What is that thing?
Pilot, focus.
It's strangely... beautiful.
It's probably an Novan rocket. Exo-atmospheric. That's supposed to be classified, but I guess that doesn't matter now.
Exo-atmos... what? Like, into space? That's possible?
Status, sir.
It's almost done. Just another... There! It's finished!
Okay, nose down, dive as hard as you can.
Cow Actual, Specular 40, do you receive?
Copy, Cow Actual. We do receive.
40, we were tracking missiles incoming to your grid that have now gone off radar. Can you confirm hostile splashes and relay positions of where they hit?
We had 3 hits just now. One at 211.3 on Sector 2-9. One at 392, also Sector 2-9. And one at 8812, Sector 3-9.
Thank you, 40. Have a good night.